Well, hello. I'm Russ Milheim from The Direct. It's good to talk to you.
Nice to meet you, Russ. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Congratulations on the film. It is quite the intense story.
Yeah. Intense is a good word.
Yes, yes. My first question is just, Orlando Bloom's boxer, maybe a competent fighter, but Caitlin seems to be able to handle herself pretty well. What was her life like before meeting him? And would you say she's kind of happy with their life together and the sacrifices she may have had to make to get there?
Well, it was, one of the great things about doing this was, or doing any film, is like filling in the backstory for your character. And for Caitlin, it was great. I got to create this woman who comes from an inner city. Well, we picked Ballyfermot in Dublin. And if any people from Dublin hear this and think it isn't a Ballyfermot accent, I'm sorry. Um, but the way I saw her was that she had come from a boxing family, but she had a lot of brothers. Her dad never really took her seriously in terms of her abilities to box, and it was something she was always interested in. And I think if she had, you know, grown up even 10, 15 years later, her life would have been very different because she would have had a space in women's boxing and she would have occupied that very well. But I think because she didn't, and because she didn't have an outlet and an avenue that she could find her space in, she, like many people in inner city Dublin in that time, fell in with drugs and sort of had that journey. But when we meet her, she is somebody who's had a certain amount of recovery. So when I think of those early scenes of her with Boxer and them, they're in the gym together, yes, there's still sort of portion controlling and there's like still tentative relationships with food and with control and all of those things. But I think actually she loves this life. I think she loves co-owning a gym with the man that she loves and training kids, and she gets a lot of satisfaction out of that. And I think that's why it's so heartbreaking when that's not enough for him.
Well, speaking of, I wanted to talk about the importance of helping those close to you, but more importantly, when it's okay and the right choice to kind of walk away from someone, from someone who needs more help than you can give. What was it like exploring that question so deeply here, and how you may have utilized your own life experiences through your performance?
I mean, I think it's very rare for anyone to go through life and not come into contact or not have people somewhere in your life that have addictions. And, I think I have experienced firsthand what it's like to love someone so much that you think you're doing the right thing, but that you're actually enabling somebody and you're enabling behaviors that, you know, tough love is a really hard it's a really hard lesson to dole out in life. And when you love someone, you may know that the thing that you're doing is helping someone hurt themselves, but also the alternative is to sort of turn your back in a way, and that's a really hard thing to do. And I think it's a really tough decision for Caitlin. I think she sees that this is a journey that Boxer has to go on to sort of know that it's not the answer. But she also knows that if she isn't there with him, at least in the beginning, that he's not going to make it. And I think, until Boz comes into the picture, I think she sort of thinks that she can actually manage this situation and help him. And maybe, she's also a damaged person. She also has wish fulfillment. I think in the ideal world, they would win, right? That she'd be able to achieve this and they would win together. But obviously, when Boz gets involved, it just all goes very wrong.
It doesn't go well, to say the least. Well, I want to squeeze in a quick Outlander question for you. Obviously the show is ending after 8 seasons, but this also means that the show won't be able to adapt those last two books, which, some fans are like, oh, how are they gonna make a complete ending? So then I was just wondering from you, how can you tease how, despite that, the show will still be able to tell a satisfying story, even though it can't touch all the source material?
I mean, Diana's books are so they're so thick that I don't think we could ever include everything from from that world. But we're never taking away from the books. They are there, and thank God for them because they've given us all this fantastic journey. I hope that what we've done is honored our series and our characters' journeys and honored our fans because thank God that they've stuck with us through 12 years at this point. I don't even really know the ending because we sort of filmed it that Matt can sort of decide, I think, in the editing suite what he wants. So I'm excited to see too. Um, but yeah, I just what an incredible job it was, and an amazing journey we had on that show. And it's sad to be done, but yeah, we've got a whole other season to promote, and that'll be a whole other thing as
Yeah.
well.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me about this movie. I'm looking forward to everyone getting to see it, and I look forward to Outlander.
Thank you so much, Ross.
Thank
Really nice.
you. Nice meeting you as well.